We've hit that time of the year where the days get darker and the nights start going bump. The spooky season is well and truly here. So to help you make the most of it, here are a few of the most spine-tingling, terrifying games that 2022 has served up so far.
The Quarry is an interactive drama in which a group of summer camp counselors are celebrating their final night together with a big old party. However, their night of revelry and romantic drama is brought to a halt when one of them notices that something seems to be stalking them from the shadows. A very big, very hungry something. It's a classic horror premise, and the thing that will really keep you on the edge of your seat with this one is that the fate of all 9 counselors is entirely in your hands. Depending on the choices you make and the speed of your reactions at critical moments, all 9 can theoretically survive. Although, admittedly, that would make for a pretty rubbish horror movie. The Quarry looks incredible thanks to the intricate motion cap performances, which are further enhanced by the 4K Ultra HD resolutions you'll find on Xbox Series X. In fact, it's also pretty that there's even a movie mode for those who just want to grab some popcorn and watch the horrors unfold. Perfect for Halloween viewing.
Evil Dead the game takes the campy, over-the-top style of the beloved film franchise and uses it to give the asymmetrical multiplayer genre a whole new lease on life. And that's exactly what you'll be doing when you play as the killer, using your evil powers to take control of the undead and hunt down your human prey. Or if you're feeling more mischievous and outright malevolent, you can also possess a nearby tree and slap them in the face with your big evil branches, or needlessly cause jump scares like we did on Twitch. Be careful who you're messing with though, because this game's survivors aren't just lambs for the slaughter. They come locked, loaded, and ready to blast the forces of darkness into smithereens. And it's not just the heroes and villains of the original film that will be duking it out either. The game draws on the entire franchise, with a recent update focusing specifically on the 2013 film. So whether you're looking to indulge in your sadistic side or take part in the world's most chainsawy exorcism, Evil Dead the game has you covered.
The latest work from FMP maestro Sam Barlow, Immortality, might seem more like a thriller than a horror when you start playing. The story concerns an actor named Marissa Marcel, who starred in 3 movies over the course of 3 decades, none of which were ever publicly released. When she goes missing, the footage from these films is pretty much all the players has to go on to track her down, scrutinizing each clip in the search for clues and connections. The real horror would be spoiling anything that comes next, so I won't reveal the terrifying secrets that your investigation will uncover, but it's safe to say that Immortality deserves its place on this list. Not because of jump scares or cheap frights, but the unique sense of psychological unease Immortality gives you. And if you want to find out for yourself, you can check it out now on Xbox and PC Game Pass.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Well, existential horrors beyond your comprehension. That's who. At least, according to Silt it is. This eerie puzzle adventure uses a creepily gorgeous monochrome art style to construct an underwater world that's both mesmerizing and deeply unsettling, drawing you further and further down into the abyss below. As you descend, you'll uncover ancient ruins and sunken mysteries, as well as some of the gargantuan creatures that have been lurking down in the inky depths, some of whom really don't seem happy to be disturbed, validating those of you who suffer from thalassophobia. Silt is such a singular experience that it's hard to compare to anything else, but if you wish that limbo came with a much higher chance of drowning, then this is probably the game for you.
As a teenage boy, Luca was probably given plenty of warnings about peer pressure. He just didn't know that the pressure would be coming from an ancient demon forcing him to take part in a series of bloody satanic rituals. MADiSON is a first-person horror game that puts you in Luca's unfortunate shoes as he navigates the shadowy halls of an expansive manor and tries to make it through each step of the demon's grisly ritual. All he has to help him is a Polaroid camera, which luckily serves as a conduit between the world of the living and that of the dead, often revealing the vital clues that will help you solve the game's many devious puzzles. Although you never quite know what the next photograph is going to reveal lurking in the shadows. Sorry, couldn't help ourselves.
Ravenous Devils is a cooking game which gives a whole new meaning to the phrase kitchen nightmare. Inspired by Sweeney Todd, it takes place in 19th century London, where a young couple are trying to get their new business ventures off the ground. Percival runs a tailor shop where customers who go into the back to have their measurements taken never seem to return, while Hildred runs a traditional British pub down below, serving a variety of meals that all taste an awful lot like children. Like chicken, not children. Morals aside, you'd have to agree that it's an exceptionally efficient business model. If your dreams are still haunted by your own experience in the service industry, then Ravenous Devils might just be the sinister catharsis you've been looking for.
Martha is Dead is a first-person horror which takes place in 1944 Italy. As the war rages on in the background, a young woman discovers that her sister has been viciously murdered and sets out to find the truth. But between the traumas her psyche has already endured, the horrors of the war, and the dark folklore that seems to infect the land around her, discovering what really happened is going to be no simple task. This incredibly atmospheric tale plays out through photographs, tarot cards, and marionette shows as you try to find the hidden truths lurking underneath the horrors. Although, whether you'll like what you find is another matter entirely.
At a glance, you might think that Weird West is more of a gunslinger than a horror title. But then you notice that guy over there seems to be drinking blood, and there's a werewolf off in the corner. And that person is definitely using witchcraft. By smashing horror tropes into a Western setting, Weird West has crafted a truly unique sandbox for you to play in. Tread lightly though, because the game keeps track of every choice that you make and reflects it in the world around you. Anything you blow up stays blown up. Anyone you irritate stays mad, and so on. It makes for a game with incredible replay value as you try to find out all the different ways in which things can go hideously wrong. So grab it off Xbox or PC Game Pass right now and get ready to get weird.
Last up, we've got Dying Light 2 Stay Human, a game with a truly horrifying premise, but which gives you the tools to do a whole lot more than cower in a corner. It's set in a vast open world overrun with zombies who make getting around a bit of a pain, especially at night. Fortunately, our hero is an especially nimble fellow, and the game's incredibly fluid free running system will have you bounding all over the place in no time at all. Learn to do so while swinging one of the game's many meaty melee weapons, and the world is your oyster. Next gen players can pick between quality and a performance mode to make their zombie slaying acrobatics look even finer, while we can all look forward to some gladiatorial combat with the game's first piece of DLC, Bloody Ties. Are you not entertained?
It's almost spooky how many great horror games have sprung out on us in 2022, and with the likes of the Callisto Protocol on the way, it's safe to say that things are only going to get scarier from here on out. So grab one of these blood-curdling, brilliant titles, prepare a pillow to hide behind, and get ready to be sleeping with the lights on for weeks to come. We'll see you next time.